Good morning, my friends. Good morning. Truth bomb number 3. So, when you are coming in, say hi. Gone for a little bit of a curly beach wave today, which means I couldn't straighten it because I look like I've been savagely attacked in the night. I don't know what's going on. So, good morning. Good morning. Say hi when you come in. If you're watching on a replay, you can say hi in the replay as well. Be cool to see who's here. So, let me pop this up. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so this is probably my trigger word for 2025, and I'm not sorry if this offends anyone. I don't think it will when I explain my reasons for it, but I find it really hard to read the word aligned. Like, it's killing me, and it's everywhere, or maybe it's just everywhere on my feed. Just drop me a yes if you see the word aligned everywhere. And I've got no issue with you wanting to feel aligned, like in life, in whatever you're doing, whatever you're getting up to do every day. Like, it's good to feel aligned, like, meaning I'm on the right path, right? I feel like what I'm doing is the right thing. The problem I have with this is that most people who are talking about being aligned or shouting about the fact that you need to be aligned with whatever it is that you're doing for it to be successful. And if you don't feel aligned, then you're probably doing the wrong thing. Is that these are normally people who have done a massive amount of activity, or they've worked their absolute backsides off. So they've got to a level of success where they got enough money in their bank to allow them to, like, have a burnout epiphany, right? And then they go, oh, you need to be in alignment. Well, it's easy to say that with a shit ton of money in your bank account, isn't it? Because then you can afford the luxury to step back and be like, what do I feel aligned to? I feel like the use of the word actually takes away from the reality of what it takes to build a business in the beginning, to get to a level that you need to get to feel aligned. Because the reality is this: nothing feels aligned when you're doing something for the first time, i.e., like building a business. Like, it does not feel aligned. A lot of the time, it feels totally shit. It feels flipping hard work. It feels confusing. It feels overwhelming. It feels like you're just going to flip at any moment because you've had a guts full of, like, putting in the activity and not getting the results. That's what you feel like. But then when you hear this, like, narrative of it should feel aligned, well, I feel like everyone starts to doubt what it is that they're doing then, because they're like, this doesn't feel bloody aligned. This feels exhausting. This feels crap. So in that sense, I feel like it makes people, especially at, like, the beginning or kind of middle, or like the first parts of their journey, really question what it is that they're doing, and then it makes them change direction or change thing. Does this make sense to you? Just say, like, relate if you can relate to it, because I think that it's not the word in itself, like aligned or being aligned, right? It is the context in which it is shared. Like, you should feel aligned at the beginning. Again, normally spouted by people who've made a shit ton of money and then go, this doesn't feel aligned, because they've been working their backsides off for so long, they've got to burnout. And then they're like, I need to do everything in more of alignment. Fair play. I mean, that's fine. I've got no issues with that. I've done the same thing myself. But for everybody then to be putting a standard on themselves that, like, everything should feel aligned from day one, it just freaking doesn't, because you are trying to do things that you've never done before. You are learning to do things that you've never done before. And so nothing that feels uncomfortable feels that aligned, to be honest. And so I think we're putting this level of expectation on ourselves that, like, oh, the business that I choose should feel aligned. And the reality is, if you question or set that kind of limit, or I don't know, as in like a quality check on, does this feel aligned? The answer most of the time when you're at the beginning of the journey is going to be absolutely not. Like, if this is what alignment is, I'll run. I don't want to be aligned. I want to be squiggly. Like, if that's what alignment feels like, you probably don't want it. But again, the reality is you don't feel so aligned until you figure it all out. It is all then running in the way that it should, and it feels easier. So you can make the decision to like, okay, what do I feel aligned to? What feels more comfortable for me? Where do I rather put my time? That's really when alignment comes into play. But again, at the beginning of journeys, it can make you question everything. It can make you think that you're doing the wrong thing. The only way to get to where you really want to go is to just start. And I know everyone says this, but I mean, an example, last night I was on a mentoring call with my students, and there was, in fact, yesterday I interviewed Charlotte. I'll upload her interview, actually. It might be really useful for you. She started with me like 3 years ago, I think, joined my membership and started with me there. Zero experience, knowledge, anything of the online space. And she was in health, wellness, fitness. No idea whatsoever. So then when she started in my membership and she started taking the courses, she started showing up for the group mentoring sessions, asking me the questions like one-on-one about her business and growing it and building it. Nothing to her about building in the online space. And she'll believe it. Nothing felt aligned. It felt like really scary. It felt completely alone. She had no idea what she was doing. She had zero email list. She had nothing as a foundation, like this is going to work. But she kept taking the steps, even when it didn't feel comfortable. And now 3 years on, Charlotte has implemented everything that I teach. And she's getting massive, massive opportunities. So she recently just spoke in the Middle East. She was hired and paid to speak about health and wellness kind of in the workplace to a load of corporate and enterprise companies. And then there's this 30K deal going through. It's going through right now, is being negotiated. And so she got that off the back of that. 3 years ago, she wasn't even in the space. She wasn't even out there putting herself out there as this health and wellness expert. She was just doing what she was doing, like face-to-face bricks and mortar business. And nothing felt aligned. She said 3 years on, now she can say, this feels aligned. Now she answers her own questions with, do I want to do this or not? Like, does it feel aligned or not? Because now she's got the knowledge. Now she's got the experience. Now she knows like what her opportunities are. But if you are feeling that you're like, oh God, I'm not feeling aligned, and that is making you question what it is that you're doing, it's probably that you just got to push through. I mean, sometimes it's wrong, but most of the time it's because you've got to push through past that barrier. You've got to do a certain level because, you suddenly feel aligned when the results start coming in, right? You suddenly feel aligned when the bank account is filling up. You suddenly feel aligned when you're seeing the results of the fruits of your labor. Suddenly, for doing exactly the same activity that felt like crap, now you're getting paid for it and paid well. You're like, oh my God, I've never felt so aligned. And you're like, funny, isn't it? When you've got a full bank account, you suddenly feel aligned. But maybe I'm just like pessimistic. I don't know. Or realistic, I think. Everything feels more aligned when you're being rewarded for the work that you're putting in. But at the beginning, it does not feel like that. So if you're feeling unaligned and you're at the beginning, I just wanted to make you feel kind of human, like keep going. If everyone told you the truth about being aligned, it's normally after a considerable amount of work that they got enough money in their bank that they could have the burnout, take the time, step back and be like, okay, what do I want to do that feels more aligned? Okay. All right. Love you guys loads. Be back for another truth bomb tomorrow. It's a big one tomorrow, talking about audience building. Okay. Take care. See you later.